Good morning, St. Francis. Good morning, people of God. It is Wednesday, the 5th day of June, 2024. It is Wednesday of the 9th week of the year, the 9th week in Ordinary Time. And today we honor the memory of the great missionary to the German people, St. Boniface. Who was the one who connected evergreen trees with the permanence of God and the beauty of God and the ability again to withstand the cold and the snows and things like that. The fact that they were evergreen again is a sign for Boniface, of God's abiding presence, abiding love, and abiding care for us. It is also the last day of school. I can't remember what's going on because I'm trying to do this too quickly. Sorry. It's the last day of school, and it's our closing school mass in a couple of minutes. So 180 days have passed here at the Franciscan School. We've finally come to day 180. So a wonderful year, a year of discovery, a year of new awareness, new wonders, new learning, and so we celebrate that all today. On this day again, we remember Boniface and his ability to bring the faith to the German people. Let's see, the readings for today. There are special readings for today because it is the end of the school year. But there are special readings for today. We go the second letter, Paul's second letter to Timothy. So we didn't do the first letter, we did the second letter. And again, who is Timothy? Timothy is it seems to be a bishop, or at least an overseer, or some kind of person in authority within the church in those early years. And Paul writes him 2 letters of encouragement, maybe 3 letters of encouragement, a couple of letters of encouragement, so that he knows his task, and he knows how to be faithful in his task. He knows what to do in his task, and he knows how to persevere in his task. One of the great lines that's in this part of the letter to Timothy is the fact that God doesn't do anything by chance, and nor does God do anything because God is forced to do things or in reaction to things. Things are done by God as part of God's design, which is very important for us, I think, to always remember and to consider. Again, then we think that Jesus has to come because somebody ate an apple that they shouldn't have eaten at the beginning of time is blatantly absurd in some ways. Jesus comes because it is part of God's design. It is what John Duns Scotus, the great Franciscan scholar, always preached. But again, sometimes our church doesn't like that way and wants to make sure that people feel upset and bothered and guilty because of things that they probably had no role in to begin with. And so the fact that God works in God's own designs is something that Paul cautions Timothy to remember. And so in his preaching and in his reception of things and his response to things, to know where to find God's design in all things. Because again, we are never abandoned, we are never lost, we are never orphaned. God cares for us always. In the Gospel from Mark today, again, the ridiculous question about a woman who has been married several times, whose wife will she be come the afterlife? And Jesus says, idiots. That's basically it. Don't ask stupid questions because you don't understand anything. Stop trying to trip him up. So again, that's the whole thing. We tend to worry about the most ridiculous things without listening to what the gospel is asking us to do. And why? Because ridiculous things sometimes is easier to deal with than is loving each other and caring for each other and forgiving each other. But yet there is greater ease in loving each other and forgiving each other than we dare to think. And we need to remember that so that we can basically live the lives we are called to live as believers in this world. A blessed day, St. Francis and people of God. Wish the Franciscan School a blessed closing day. May the Lord give you his peace.